You are listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard.
Welcome back, Tomies, to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. I am DM Dave, and to the left I have...
Henley.
Boudreaux.
Touch.
Roscoe.
And Fenrir.
I've been doing my homework.
So, as of recording, we just passed Halloween, right? So I know it's going to be way past Halloween when this episode comes up. But I've been interested in some scary shows. And I was just watching this movie about a fridge that got lost in space. It was a sci-fi chiller.
Boo! Get off the stage! We want Fenrir back!
So last time, Henley and Fenrir reached out to Lilana, council member of Avalon, about Yolinx's innocence and Duke's involvement with Lordak's escape. Tick warned the group about not going into the woods because the caregivers are working there. Henley and Delvin, also known as Nerf Herder, have had a heart-to-heart about the passing of loved ones and the hidden hand. Fenrir promised to tell all once they were on the road. Delvin, with some convincing from Henley and Tick, gets his sword and shield repaired. So, that's kind of where we left off, right? Henley just offered to pay for the repair of Delvin, his sword and shield.
He might need some repair too.
He
though.
needs lots of repair as well on his soul.
You should get him a shave.
Shave and a haircut. But those on the outside, so Tick and Hurla, sorry, not her. Tick and Henley.
I was like, Hurla's probably still like having a hangover.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Poor
she's still
Hurla.
drinking because she's wallowing in self-pity from her near miss. Or no, yeah, her near
Her near kiss.
kiss. That one.
Those on the outside, so Henley and Tick, you guys were inside the blacksmith shop. And down the road, so Roscoe, Boudreaux, and Fenrir, you see two dwarves coming your direction. You notice that one is Falden, and the other one is Dwal.
I hide under the cart. Wait, we don't have a cart, do
You
we?
don't have a cart.
I hide under Henry.
Henley.
Is
You hide
that
behind
Fenrir
Fenrir.
and Henley ship name?
I just
Henry.
I don't know.
Wait, they have multiple ship names. Which ship are we talking about?
I
I
hide.
don't know.
You hide?
Yeah.
Okay, like it's a blacksmith shop, so there's a few barrels out front. You got the people around you. There's horses as
Oh.
well that you guys have.
The barrel, I guess.
Okay,
Into the barrel.
roll me
Oh, is it a barrel-sized boulder?
Boulder.
That's a callback.
a
sorry.
Boudreaux-sized barrel.
Yeah.
You know, Boudreaux could just be the size of a barrel, like I told you. What do you
roll
want me to roll?
Roll me a stealth. I want to see how well you hide behind this barrel.
8.
8. Okay, your face is well hidden, but your backside is kind of sticking out.
I feel like this is Avalon all over again.
So, Falden and Dwal, you can notice that, let's see, Roscoe and Fenrir, roll me a perception check.
We're going to use the big
11.
21.
21. Okay, Fenrir, you notice that he's kind of walking a little stiff, but Roscoe, it's obvious that he's rocking stiff. He kind of has a slight limp to him. His arms aren't moving very much as he's walking closer to you. You guys say it looks like they're heading into the blacksmith shop. Falden walks in. He's like, "Good day, Roscoe. Good day, Fenrir. How are you doing today?"
Good, how are you?
Oh, I am swell. I'm just taking Dwal here. We're ready to set up shop and get some mining supplies. Start creating here.
Oh, awesome. Good luck.
Yes. And so he like escorts Dwal in. Dwal kind of nods. He looks over and sees kind of Boudreaux's hind end sticking out, and he just completely ignores it.
Would I notice that?
Him looking at
So I'm gonna try and just not really knowing why Boudreaux's hiding,
Mhm.
just kind of try and draw his attention away. Just ask him, hey, you look a little sore today. Everything okay?
Yes. The other day I went down and did some cave delving, so I'm just a little sore from doing that.
Well, be careful out there, man.
Yes, I'm not as young as I used to be, but I sure still enjoy doing some cave delving.
So, good luck with it.
Thank you. Okay, he heads on inside. Henley and Tick, you notice these two dwarves walking in. Stacy sitting there talking to you so before they walk in, Stacy is talking to Delvin, and she's like, well, I think it'd probably be better if you just buy new stuff. The stuff looks pretty worn. Like, to replace this wood and the shield, it's gonna take some time. And I mean, I'm willing to fix everything. I'm willing to get everything up in tip-top shape, but it may take me a few days to get this stuff all fixed together. It'll cost more to fix both of these than it would just to kind of buy a new one. And you can see Delvin just, mowing it over in his head. You get the feeling of like he's already been hesitant on purchasing fixing these. He was already hesitant. Roll me an insight check for you two.
Critical fail.
No insight for you.
Whack.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Henley? Yeah, you don't notice anything at all.
I'm like, more money.
You're just kind of like, that's your thought process. Just like, okay, yeah, we have to get more money, or, maybe it is a good idea to just buy a new one. So you're not paying attention to him. Mowing things over in your head, I would say. Tick, you notice that he's starting to reach over to grab his sword and shield. You get the instinct that maybe, you can see it on his face. He's like, this was a bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't.
I'm gonna say it's okay. You want it. It's special to you. It's okay. Doesn't matter how long it takes. If you want to do this and you want them better so you can use them, that's okay. If you want pieces from them to carry with you to remember and get new stuff, that's okay too.
As you're talking, you can tell he's paying attention. He's just not looking at you, Tick.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts thumbing that empty slot where a metal coin used to fit in. A little socket.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of thumbing that.
Can Henley notice that or no?
You probably... how would you notice? Explain, because you did roll a natural 1.
I know.
You're staring at your coin purse, Abby. You're like, oh
I know.
no.
How
Oh,
much
no.
do I have?
I know what to do.
Mhm.
So Henley, thinking about how much this costs and everything, turns to Delvin and goes, we can repair your equipment however you want, but is there just something that could make it go faster? Like, could we just keep the hilt of your sword, or get a new shield altogether? Or do you want everything?
And he's thinking and he's thumbing it, because you also heard what Tick
Yeah.
said to Delvin.
Because Henley does agree, for once, with Tick, that she is willing to pay for complete repairs. even it's gonna take 2 more days in the city, but
And he's like, well, I do believe that if I do want to keep the sword, I am willing to part with the shield because it is heavily damaged. And she starts talking to Stacy. How much would it be to just fix the sword? And how long would that take? And this is when the 2 dwarves walk in. Falden walks in and he's like, Stacy, I didn't realize you were busy. I'll just stand right over here. And Dwal, he kind of just walks up to the counter and he's like, Stacy, I am here with Falden to establish a work order for you. And he pulls out a list and hands it to her. I would like to open up an account here and also establish connections with you as well. There's a mine that I would like to supply with picks and shovels and any mining materials. I can send you any examples of anything that we will need. I've already cleared it with Falden to take care of the most of this.
So this is rubbing me the wrong way because he just basically ignored everybody, and that's kind of what Tick has had happen to him his entire life. So it's like,
Wow! You see the other people here talking? Maybe we need to wait. This sounds like a big opportunity for lots of things. But little opportunities that are already being worked on should not be ignored, and the big ones need to wait their turn.
And he'll just glance down at you and kind of just shrug you off.
No, don't
He
ignore me.
sees your appearance, and he just shrugs you off.
Don't ignore me. It's not nice to ignore somebody. She's working with this person over here already. Please wait. If you do not wait, we can have some words outside.
And he glances over at Falden, and he's like, do you normally let pests into your place? Maybe I should go somewhere else for my business. Roscoe.
Is that within, can I hear all this?
You hear muffled noises, not necessarily a conversation.
Dwal, we're almost finished.
And he just completely ignores you guys. I am here to establish a very profitable thing for Falden that will put this place more on the map than it already is. Falden, will you take care of the situation? And Falden's like, you can tell he's like, he's like, yes. Come with me, and he's like ushering you guys to come with him. Let's discuss what you guys need, and then I'll let Stacy know and she'll get onto it as soon as possible.
No. Stacy already working with us here and been talking to us. She can finish talking to us. We were here first.
And Falden like takes a deep breath, and he's just like, Dwal will finish his business, and then you guys may continue yours.
Oh, I see. So, because he's got more money, he's more important.
And you can see that kind of caught him. And you see Dwal, he's kind of just looking at the sword and the shield that's on there. And he just, let's see, what would he do? And he looks at Delvin as well. And he looks at Delvin, kind of pushes Delvin's sword and shield to the side, and the shield actually falls on the ground. And you see Delvin kind of just look at Dwal. Dwal's not having any of it. Delvin grabs his sword, grabs his shield, and he begins to walk out of the...
Henley, can I do something before
Yeah.
Delvin? So
He's gathering his stuff.
Yeah, when the sword and shield fall, Henley picks it up.
Just the shield.
Sorry. with the shield
Mhm.
and sets it back on the counter and stands just right next to Dwal.
Roscoe.
I think with the clattering of the shield,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like, it's not a normal sound. And
Because they are taking a little while
yeah,
in there.
yeah, and so I'm gonna kind of just hop in and see what's going on.
Yeah. And so you see Falden. He's kind of trying to get Tick's attention away from Dwal. You see that he's almost panicking a little bit because he's trying to calm down a situation. You see Falden, Dwal. He's just up front talking to Stacy, ignoring everybody else around him. There's some comments to Falden, like, you better get this under control or I'm going to find another place to do business. That's what you walk into. And Delvin is kind of trying to gather his stuff and leave.
What does Stacy do?
Stacy's just like, she's kind of giving her attention to Dwal because that's what boss said so, you
Right.
know. And that is the more potential lucrative.
It's a continual thing, not a one-time fix.
Yeah. Are you following Roscoe, Benrick?
I wouldn't know.
'Kay.
I was just curious.
'Kay.
I imagine Boudreaux and I are outside having a conversation.
I'm just hiding behind you now.
Came out from the barrel and is hiding behind Benrir now.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like, let's go.
Okay, that's what you see, Roscoe.
So I'll walk through the door and was like, kind of do the survey, get that sort of read on the room, and just look over at Falden. Just be like, is everything okay in here?
Yes. Just trying to calm down the situation. Gather your party and we'll discuss business over here while Dwal finishes his business with Stacy.
Now what he's trying to do is blow us off because this guy can make him lots of money and he only cares about the big people and not the little people.
I care about you. They will be over here and we'll get you taken care of after business. Dwal is a very busy man and he needs to hurry back to Avalon.
So he's the only one who's busy.
And Dwal and Stacy are starting business. He's like Dwal's giving him a list of things he's going to need for the mines.
She's staying quiet,
where
but
is
she's staying right at the counter.
Dude man at not Dwal, but the
Delvin?
yeah.
Delvin is like, he's being kind of forceful with Henley, like trying to grab his sword and shield, is what he's doing. He's like, let's just go.
And Henley's like, no, we're standing up for you.
It's not worth it.
It is worth it.
We'll get the business in just a second. Let's just wait.
I am waiting right here by the counter.
And you see him. He'll actually reach and grab his sword.
Henley's not letting go.
Okay, roll a strength check.
Oh, no. Nat 20.
Okay, yeah, he rolled, he got an 8. So as like you have, like when you set the shield on top, you kind of put the shield on top of the sword, and then you put your weight on the sword, and the hilt catches the edge of the shield, so he can't really pull it out. And Delvin will just, fight for a little bit, notice nothing's happening, and then he'll just walk out. And look at you and say, it's not worth it.
Henley just
And walks
shrugs.
So I'll grab Delvin on his way out
Mm-hmm.
and just pull him aside, see if we'll talk with Falden, see what we can arrange. Because I know at the end of the day, it's not worth the fight. That we need to get it taken care of,
Mhm.
and I want to support Falden and everything, but it's not worth the issue. That's not worth
The
the issue.
scene.
The scene. So
So, So Falden's very understanding. He's, trying to cool down the situation. What is Tick doing during this? Still trying to interrupt Dwal.
No, I want to shank him. That's the problem. Like, that's something I can see. But I don't want to, like, escalate it anymore.
I also will probably call Fenny on the ringaphone.
Oh,
The
and
ring-a-phone.
Love it.
ask
I'd like
him-
to ring a friend.
This is like, hey, Fenny, you come grab Tick for me.
And Fenrir will then rush in and be like, "Hey, Tick!"
Boudreaux falls on his face because he was
he was kind of leaning.
hiding. Yeah. Yeah. And then he crawls over into the grass to hide.
Okay.
When everybody else leaves the shop or like goes to talk, I have something I want to do.
So Fenrir just came in and was like, "Oh, Tick." Yada yada yada. What do you do, Henley?
Well, Henley sits on the counter, just her hand on the thing, and just watches Dwal. Like, not aggressively or angrily, just watches him.
Mhm.
Waiting, smiling. Just sits on the counter, just waiting for her turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, during the conversation, you hear Dwal saying, "Yeah, we need this many picks, we need this many hammers, this many chisels," just giving a list of a lot of metal like mining equipment.
Henley's just making it a point that she's waiting
Yeah.
and watching him.
So Dwal kind of wraps up. He has it all written down for her. He's just verbally explaining what the list means and kind of gives her due dates of when he needs the supplies sent down. He's like, somebody will be up here, in 2 weeks to gather what you have made. Then they'll bring it down, and then it'll be like a 2-week increment. Once you have stuff ready, somebody will be up here in 2 weeks to grab stuff, grab supplies, and come back down. He makes mention that Nelly, her brother, he's already talked to him about getting pulleys and stuff. So if they could just gather stuff together in one spot, since the blacksmith is the closest to the edge of town, everything will be stored there and taken from there. And he says, "I've already cleared it with Falden. This is all good stuff. So it probably takes another 5-ish minutes." Wraps up, looks at you, Henley, and looks down at Tick. Fenrir, were you going to do anything about Tick in that 5 minutes?
Yes. So I imagine once Roscoe sends me that message, Fenrir kind of walks in and he sees Tick about to pull out his dagger.
Yeah, I'm fingering
Is
the
that
dagger
fair?
hard. Yeah.
So he sees him fingering his dagger and like going to pull it out, like wanting to. I mean, I imagine you're like sneaking up or going quote close to Dwal at this point.
I think less more like because I hadn't moved away from him.
Okay.
So I think it was more of like a mental. I really want to do this, but at the same time, it's gonna put Fanny in a bad situation, and I could die because I'm gonna try and kill somebody. Is it worth it?
Okay. And that's what the scene that Fenrir will see, and he'll be like, "Hey, Tick," and he'll point to his coin purse and like shake it.
Oh.
Hoping that, yeah, I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to
so-
put words in your mouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and. Where's the coin purse on our lovely dwarf there?
The coin purse is on the
not
right
what I
side
have
of
in
it. So
mind.
I imagine you're on the left, Henley's on the right, and this coin purse is on the right side.
I'm gonna cock my head to the side and look at Fenrir and then like wide eyes go. I would like to try and sneak over and steal his coin purse.
Okay,
Oh no.
go ahead and make me a sleight of hand. Roscoe.
Don't ruin this for me.
Can I roll a perception on this to see if
It doesn't matter if it's a natural 20.
Just if I can observe it. I'm not rolling at this point to intervene.
I would say 1, because of the natural 20. 2, you're with Delvin and Falden kind of discussing.
My counter argument
Okay.
is I was the one that called Fenny to come
Okay.
in and get Tick.
Okay.
So I'm watching as well, trying to. I'll even roll at disadvantage if you want, because I'm splitting my attention.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was the one that called Fenny to come in and get Tick, I'd like to assume that I'm being kind of observant of what's happening over there.
Go ahead and roll me at disadvantage perception.
Okay.
Why do we have one bad idea after?
Does a natural 20 count?
No,
And
but
a
the second one
a
does.
19.
Oh,
geez.
So that's still a 21.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't quite beat the natural 20.
And mine would have been a 27 to begin with. So
20.
That sucks
27.
when it's at disadvantage. So yeah, you're able to notice Tick kind of just move to the other side, but then Delvin like talks to you and it like distracts you just that slight bit. So by the time you look back, I'm gonna say that you do notice that his coin purse. You were that observant, but the coin purse is now gone.
So I was
Of
just
Dwal.
going to distract because I agree with everybody in the room
Yeah.
with what's happening. So that's fine. Okay.
Okay. So he wraps up so Dwal wraps up the conversation with Stacy. Yes.
can I try and sneak away from him, or like walk away from him a little bit before he's wrapping that up? Or
Well,
no?
I imagine during this conversation of he's doing it, the time it takes for Fenrir to come in, hey Tick, and it's hard to like sneak away in an open room.
Well, yeah, no. I just mostly want to like move away or like closer to the door.
Oh yeah, you can start moving to the door,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna have you roll sneak or
Okay.
anything
Yeah.
because it is an open room. If you wanted to sneak behind things, well, there's not really any shelves. Everything's on the wall.
No, I just want to move closer to the door.
Okay.
If I can get outside, I just like
Mhm.
to be outside on the side of the door,
Mm-hmm.
like leaning up against stuff.
So, Dwal, you're getting close to the door. You're getting ready to walk out the door. Dwal mentions to Stacy, and I'm going to leave a down payment as well. And so he reaches down and starts padding for his coin bag.
I imagine Fenrir now sees all of this. Like,
You saw Tick take it.
and so
You
how?
instigated it, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
How quickly between when Tick stole it and he reached down? I guess it doesn't really matter.
Within like 5 seconds. It's one.
Okay.
As long as it takes Tick to be like right by him, the door in is like 15 feet. So I imagine this happens within like six seconds. Tick steals it. I would imagine like you kind of show Fenrir, be like, you got it, and starts walking.
It's more like you want to buy a sundial
Why don't I
situation.
and starts walking towards the door. And pretty much right when Tick gets to the door to open it, that's when Dwal says, "And I'm going to leave a down payment,"
Okay.
and starts reaching for his coin purse.
Okay. At that point, could I be like, hey, would you give it to me if I'm like, yeah?
Yeah. Anybody else know? But yes, you.
Okay.
Would-
So at that point,
'Kay.
like, then I will like kind of walk up, like, hey, Dwal, you missed. I think I found this outside. I think
I
it
think
might
you
have
dropped
slipped
it."
off your belt. Is this yours?
And Dwal like turns around because he notices it's gone, turns around, and just kind of gives you a dirty look and like snags it from you. Takes a peek inside, kind of thumbs things around a little bit, and hands the whole purse to Stacy.
Tick is very upset at
And
you
then-
at this moment. I'm trying.
He's like, ah! And then looks at Henley. He's like, now you may do your business. Welcome to Tomes of the Chaos Bard mid-show break. I am Rupert Bumpkin. Thank you for listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. If you wish to support us, visit us on ko-fi.com/Tomes of the Chaos Bard, where you may become a member of our Ko-Fi. There, you can receive special content, such as post-shows, DM deep dives, and exclusive merchandise, such as t-shirts and keychains. There, you may also donate to the Feed the Cast funds, a special way to thank them by buying them dinner for the night. Yum, yum! Other ways you can support us is by sharing us with your friends and family and on social media. Spreading the word about the Tomes of the Chaos Bard is a huge help, and we thank you for your help. And another way you can support us is through 5-star reviews. And with every 5-star review, Solemn the Chaos Bard will give you a shout out on our Solemn's columns. So stay tuned for those. That is all, folks, and back to the show. Now you may do your business. And Dwal starts to leave. And
Okay.
Falden's just like, and Dwal's like, you coming, Falden? And Dwal, yes.
Wait,
Stacy
Dwal,
can take care of you.
I had a question for you.
He stops and looks at you.
You own the mines. We helped you get those mines. Do you own any other mines?
I own several different mines and organizations and mining organizations, yes.
Where are they?
You don't need to know.
Dun dun dun.
All right. Stacy, how much to get the sword fixed?
Boudreaux.
Yeah, as he walks out, he might see my head go pop back in the grass.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah, because Dwal
He was
walks
watching.
Out. Dwal walks out. He's kind of waiting for Falden to, wrap up what Falden was doing. And he's kind of just gazing around. And he notices you. And he kind of cocks his head and looks at you. And you're still you look like you.
I'm laying
The
in
same
the
as
grass,
last
though.
night.
The same as last night.
Laying in the grass.
Yeah, laying in the grass,
Okay.
trying to hide. But he notices your dreadlocks. He notices the mud on you and all that stuff. He's like, what is it? I had something I was going to say.
His name was Banjovi. No, I think they called him Boudreaux, though.
Bujovi.
Bujovi.
Was what it was.
But I think he still said his name was Boudreaux.
You did.
Yeah.
That was just your wrestling name is Boudrovi.
Yeah.
Bujovi. He kind of scoffs and he's like, you look like an idiot. Go take a bath. The cosplay is over. You are an idiot.
Can I hear this?
Oh, yeah, because Boudreaux's a little ways away. And
Oh, you look like a stuck-up smooth skin, but you get what you want. Be nice.
Says David.
So you're standing behind him? Or did you say, he said it, he walked out and the door closed behind him. Did you follow him outside? Because you could hear, because
Yeah,
he's speaking
well,
loud,
yeah,
you could hear
yeah.
what he said.
I was just gonna, after I saw what Fenny did, I imagine that I still would have continued to try and walk out the door because I'm mad at Fenny.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're outside.
Mm-hmm.
Fenner's gonna do this.
Okay, go ahead. Because you can tell Dwal looks at Tick, and he's just infuriated in his mind. Fenrir, you could possibly hear what Tick says. Did you follow Tick out, or are you still in the shop? 'Cause that really depends on what you're doing
Right.
here.
I bet I would follow Tick out. Like Roscoe said, "Hey, go get Tick."
He's on tick duty.
I'm
right
on.
now.
That's so. I think I would follow him.
Do I have to be babysat now?
Yes.
Okay, so as you open the door, you hear what Tick says, and Dwal just turns to Tick, and you can tell he is furious.
Boudreaux is currently crawling away
Okay?
even further.
Just because someone is different than you doesn't make them bad. They can like what they like. Leave him alone.
Fenrir.
I'm not gonna do anything. I was gonna do something, but I'm not going to anymore.
Do the thing, Zeb.
No,
the
because he wouldn't.
roar.
My original plan was gonna play it off like that you were talking to me after what he did,
Oh no.
but it doesn't really make sense in the situation.
No.
With I'm following you out as you say that, so. As I come out, I just see that Dwal is really mad and angry, and I see that I may have heard what he said, And
What who said?
What
Tick.
you said. So
Thank
what
you.
Tick said. So I heard what Tick said. I see that Dwal is really angry. And Fenrir will then try to like he'll step to the side of Tick.
You honestly could just probably put your hand on my shoulder and I'd be like, oh, fine.
He's new to people and give him a break.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good thing. Yeah, like he'll just kind of put his hand on Tick's shoulder. Look at Dwal with like kind of this wide-eyed like almost like, and then he'll like put his hand up and be like kind of tap his chest, be like, "Hey, just I'll take care of it. Like I got this. My bad." Like, and then he'll put a hand on Tick's shoulder. One hand's on Tick's shoulder, the other hand's like tapping his chest, like, "Hey, I got this."
Mm-hmm.
And then what does Dwal do?
Okay. Dwal like points at Tick, and then notices you like, apologetically almost.
Yeah.
I would imagine. And
Right.
Dwal just like points at Tick, points at you, and he's like, "You better be careful. You better keep your hideous pet on a leash, on a tighter leash. Gonna get himself killed one of these days." And he walks away.
I want to turn to Fenny,
Mm-hmm.
and because I speak Elvish, because of Fenny,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say in Elvish, "Why did you do that?" And funnily enough, my Elvish is a lot better than my common.
Some fights are just not worth it.
All fights are worth it, Fenrir.
But this one might be. And he'll like, because he's not happy like that he called you like his pet, like. And so Fenrir's getting a little mad, and he's a little chaotic. But Fenrir does have a lot on his mind, and so the only thing that Fenrir will do is he will kind of speak up to Dwal and be like, "He's not my pet," but he's not gonna like retaliate or anything. But that's all he's gonna say.
Mm-hmm. So as you say that, Falden comes out, and Falden's like, yes, it. So who's pet?
No one's pet. He'll sit kind of mad, like he's no one's pet. He'll just repeat it.
Okay. And he's like, oh, okay. So he's like glancing around. Falden, because next door is that good shop. Or sorry, not Falden. Dwal is that good shop, and it seems like Dwal has entered that good shop. And Falden's like, where did Dwal go?
He went that way.
He went there, but you better take
yeah.
care of that dwarf.
I know he's not the most personal person, but he is a lot of money, and he's going to bring this place a lot of money. So I would not easily anger him. And he's like, as he's glancing around, he sees Boudreaux kind of crawling away in the grass.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Boudreaux, what are you doing in the grass, boy?"
And you see Boudreaux like duck. Like,
He's
so he was
looking for
crawling, but then he like covers his head.
I'm gonna say
He's looking for bugs for my frog.
Oh. Okay. Has he not taken a bath since last night?
He hasn't taken a bath since last year.
Followed him
a couple
outside.
of months.
Roscoe.
Yeah, I imagine at that point there's not really anything else happening.
Henley
in
and
there.
Delvin can kind of
Yeah.
figure out what's going on inside.
So I'll have followed Falden out just in
Okay.
chatting and stuff. And I'll just be like, he hasn't bathed since last year.
Well, that's dedication to looking like his hero, then, I guess. But anyways, I'm guessing you guys are getting ready to leave.
Well, yeah, that's why we were here trying to get a sword fixed.
Yes. I apologize. I apologize for what happened in there.
Can you help him move that along just a little bit so we can get out of your hair and get out of Dwal's hair and stuff?
Yes, I'll make sure that since you guys are in a hurry, that Stacy kind of takes care of you guys first. Don't you worry about it.
Thank you, sir.
It'll take a while to gather all the supplies and everything that Dwal needs, so we can't really focus on what he needs quite yet. He's got a high demand.
Gotta balance the big and the little somehow, you know?
We do. Oh, by the way, did you guys hear anything about what happened? See anything about Loki? We found him tied up in his room this morning.
That is rather peculiar.
I really don't know what happened, and we tried to get some information out of him, but we untied him. Because we heard a lot of thumping around, and so we went up there to investigate, and there he is, flopping on the floor like a fish out of water.
Maybe he just got in with the wrong crowd last night.
Oh, maybe. But there was a note that one of us has Bree read that said there was just a note next to Loki that said that all it said was why. And once we untied Loki, we were trying to get information on what happened, and he just grabbed the note, gathered his stuff, didn't say anything, and just walked out. I mean, he didn't even gather his money for participating in the brawl last night.
Maybe he got scared of something. He just used the money to fix up the room if there was any damage done to it. I'm sure he won't mind.
Well, not much damage to it, but
Well, buy yourself a drink.
I was just curious if you guys possibly
Yeah.
knew. It didn't look like he was robbed or anything,
No idea.
but of course he wouldn't tell us anything. I was just curious, but he's long gone now.
We'll keep an ear out for anything, though. If we hear something between here and the gate, we'll let you know.
Oh, okay. Well, I better go find Dwal, figure out where he went, and hopefully I didn't damage any business with him.
You're making him money. He won't care.
Fenrir will point. He's in there, but money means nothing without wisdom.
Well, he is a very intelligent man, but maybe not the wise part for sure.
Like father, like son.
I'll shake his hand and send him on his way.
Okay, and Falden will leave. Inside, Henley. So as you guys are discussing, Delvin explains that he'd really like to keep the sword. How much it would cost to fix the sword and whatnot. It seems it'll probably take about 10 silver, 15 silver. Let's say 15 silver to fix it up, get rid of the rust, sharpen it, get it back to a good condition. Stacy is very concerned about its durability after a lot of the rust is taken off and stuff, because Delvin explains that it's probably been 10 years since he really took care of it.
Delvin, I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Let's fix this sword, but let's also buy you a sword to use.
I mean, 15 silver is already quite amount of money to fix this. I don't want to burden you at all.
It's fine. Let's get you a sword to use, and then you can keep this as a memento to give back to who you gave it to. Who gave it to you?
And when you say that, he kind of goes into deep thought, and he kind of shakes his head. He's like, the one who did give this to me, he's not even around anymore.
How do you know that?
There's been no evidence. When I heard that he disappeared. He disappeared in a foreign land.
But you don't know he's gone.
And you can kind of see the hopelessness in him. He's like, maybe we should just, if you're willing, just maybe buy a new sword. We'll scrap this.
No. You need to keep it. If you give up hope, you have nothing.
But if it really isn't good enough to... a sword of remembrance is not... that can't even withstand in a fight. Be durable enough to be in a fight is just good enough to be on a wall. And I don't have a wall to put this on. And it's just going to be extra burden to carry.
You got an extra horse up in that. It's fine. Got this.
If you really don't think it's worth it to carry a hope with you, then scrap it. But you've held on to it this long. Why not hold on to it a little longer?
And he'll push the shield over, but he'll grab the sword. He's like, you can tell he's like, I just don't think it's worth fixing if it cannot be used. Maybe, and he looks at Stacy. Maybe take off the blade, and I'll keep the hilt. And she's like, well, I can do that.
Still an impromptu weapon. It's fine.
Bludgeoning.
Yep.
And how much for a new sword, Stacy?
Well, it depends on what kind of sword you're looking for. We have great swords. We have...
What was his sword?
It was a short sword.
Another short sword.
Top of the line. No, top of the line. Henley's paying.
And add this, and this.
I'm not that loaded.
I want a couple gems
You're
embedded
right.
in that
You're
hilt,
not
please.
Lila didn't spend anything.
Pure diamond short sword.
More like Mr. Moneybags over there who sold all the magic items.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
me.
and one of them I totally would have kept, but
Okay, but he also makes deals with Swindell. It's
Which
called
is worse.
Swindell for a reason.
Okay, she's like, well, there's a couple swords over here. There's different styles and everything. So I guess go pick out what you like.
Go pick out what you want, Delvin.
So he like slowly nods and like is checking out a few of the swords. Picks up a few of the long swords as well, kind of feeling them in his hand. And you notice, like, as he picks up a sword, you can tell he's familiar with it.
Mm.
He's picking it up, doing a few,
Oh yeah, Henley's definitely watching and observing.
a few swordmanships, twirling it around a little bit. He's checking the balance of the sword as well, making sure it's well balanced. And he finally decides on one. It is a short sword. Finally, and it's a very plain one. And he puts it on the table, and he's like, "How much?" And she's like, 12 silver."
Henley hands over 12 silver.
Okay.
And how much for a shield?
If he would do
I forgot. Thank you, Zip.
that. Mm-hmm. Well, it depends on the size of shield and everything, but it's really up to him. What kind of shield you want? And he'll go over there, look at the shields again. And he finds kind of a circular one,
A buckler.
a buckler, a smaller one that kind of fits on your arms. Is probably about a foot or two big, round. He's like, this one. Oh yeah, that one. They had 8 silver. And he like puts on the shield and puts on the sword. you know, the sword doesn't have, it has a sheath, but it doesn't have like a belt for it or anything. So he just holds on to the sword and puts the shield on his arm, and he's just filling it out.
Okay. Stacy, do you have a belt for, sheathing?
Oh yeah, 5 copper for a belt for that.
And Henley pays her 5 copper.
Okay, so grabs the shield, he straps it on his waist, and he looks kind of. Delvin kind of looks a little ridiculous because he has the scruffy. He's all scruffy. Probably hasn't bathed for a while. Here he is with a brand new sword, brand new shield, and worn out clothes.
So he kind of looks like Boudreaux a little bit.
A little bit. Just without the dreads.
Yeah.
Stacy, what armor do you have?
Boudreaux definitely has a better beard, though.
Oh,
Thank you.
because he's a dwarf.
He's
It is.
patchy.
Stacy, do you have any armor?
Henley, this is plenty enough.
We have a friend who liked to fall in battle because he did not have any armor. You were at least getting leather. What kind of armor do you have?
Oh, I have a variety of armor. I have anything from, a padded armor to plate armor.
Do you have a breastplate?
I do. I have a breastplate.
How much?
Breastplate is going to run you about $450 silver.
Yeah.
Honestly, Henley, if you want to get me something, studded leather will be fine.
Are you going to be up front or in the back?
Well, and he kind of looks down. He's like, obviously up front.
And she scoots over almost her entire coin purse. And breastplate, please.
I think Henley's got a crush.
Like, he hasn't even taken you on the first date, kid.
No.
They have a connection. Just not that
He's
connection.
an
Young love.
old man.
Yeah, he's a man, Henley.
With a drinking problem.
It's okay, she can fix him, right?
I can fix him.
Yeah, she just gave
no.
away all her money, so she can't afford drinks for him anymore.
Yeah,
Problem solved.
I have a buttload of copper, but that was almost all my silver.
Okay. So he now has a breastplate, a new shield, and a short sword.
And Henley goes, and let's go find some water and let's get you a shave.
And he's like carrying the breastplate, everything. He's like, you can see that he's very touched about this act of kindness. So he just slightly nods. And you guys leave. So everybody else outside, you talk to Falden. Boudreaux, you're over there crawling in the dirt.
Yes.
I'm still arguing with Fenrir in Elvish.
Okay.
Henley's going to shave him if he lets her.
I would imagine that this place probably has a barber. of
I know,
some
but she
kind.
don't want to pay for any more.
How much does
No?
a barber cost?
It-
Jeez, maybe Tick will pay for it.
yeah, mostly copper would be for a barber.
Here's what I'm thinking.
I know.
Henley probably helped her dad shave, so it's kind of like I don't know.
Can you feel
Wow. No.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
how
shipping
everybody's
this
just
real hard.
jumping to the conclusion.
Why?
There's
Delvin
different
could be your dad. That's how
Yes.
old he is.
You know what? That's fine.
Exactly. That's the point.
Okay, but
Yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah. We shipped Zeb with everybody for a while, okay? It's about Henley's turn.
Also, love
It's now
has
Helvin.
multiple meanings.
And no
okay?
age. Gosh.
Denley.
I'm just not sure if Henley would know how to shave. Even
I
helping
think
her.
she'd be so out of practice.
Well, also, I feel like he would. So why have a
Oh,
woman?
he would know how to shave.
Yeah.
Oh,
So why
that's-
would he want
Mm-hmm.
help?
Can you?
That's what I would think. Because back in the day, I'm sure he did. So
Oh yeah.
So realistically, that would be like historically speaking, the only real reason that there's two reasons is because either A, the person is broken and can't, or B, it's a sign of affection. And like, hey, I trust you enough to be near my face.
With their straight razor.
you could always Sweeney Todd.
We'll just go find the barber.
No, that's not Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, after she spent that much money on it.
I got some meat to sell.
I got regrets. I need to return this armor. I just don't want to be mean. I'll kill him instead. No.
That's a very Tick thing of you to say.
Okay, so you, let's go get some water. Let's do a shave. And I think that's kind of where we're going to wrap things up. Thank you guys for listening to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. A big shout out to D.A. Nichols for writing our songs and music. Check her stuff out. She has a TTRPG at drivethroughrpg.com. Shields of Power is that TTRPG. Also special thanks to Culture and Compositions for remastering our theme song. Go check out his stuff at cultureandcompositions.com. He makes other soundtracks and everything for any kind of TTRPG you are playing. Also special thanks to Realmwalker, freesound.org, Monument Studios, and Tabletop Audio for additional music and sounds. I am DM Dave, and to the right I have
Fenrir.
Roscoe.
Tick.
Woodrow?
And Henley.
And until next time, we unroll the scroll to tell the tale. Bye!
King
Yeah.
of the Rock.
King of the Rock.
And there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Well, I think Ping and I could take you.
I want to take her anywhere.
Also, I think he's size cantaloupe.
He's sized cantaloupe.
No. Yao is an apple and a banana.
Oh.
And Po is watermelons.
Yeah.
And Ping is apples.
Well, I think Boudreaux's size cantaloupe.
Mhm.
Boudreaux is
Yeah,
size cantaloupe.
Boudreaux is sized cantaloupe.
Yes.